Hello everyone, it's Sophie from SavedX here to bring you a review of Cloud Gardens. This is a chill game where you're presented with dioramas of abandoned wastelands, and it is up to you to plant and grow seeds to bring the green back to this urban atmosphere. We were very kindly provided with a review code for this game, so thank you very much, and the game is available on Steam and Xbox. And I've been playing this on Xbox Series S. In Cloud Gardens, you are presented with dioramas of urban landscapes. You need to plant and grow enough vegetation to cover the diorama, your target being indicated by the circle and percentage in the bottom left-hand corner. We shall call it the completion gauge. This means the game has a puzzle element to it, as the game provides you with urban found items, some of which can be described as trash, such as bottles and discarded rubber tyres, and these items can be placed down to encourage the plants to grow. Around most items you can see a circle marked. I like to call it a sphere of influence, as any plants within that circle will grow when you place it down. The items you get in each area are limited, which adds to the challenge, as you need to think about your moves and how best to use your resources. Each time you complete a diorama, the new items you used get added to the sandbox mode, and there's more on that later. You will unlock different types of vegetation as you play, such as cactus and monstera. Some are climbing plants, some are leafy plants, and you even get a type of tree. Honestly, it was kind of hard to read the writing underneath some of the plant profiles, so I couldn't tell you what the kind of plants are. Different plants have different ways of growing in the sense of where they can be planted and how they spread out. When they grow big enough, they will produce seeds, and you will eventually get a vacuum which helps you to collect the seeds. When you get to the point where the plants are just growing seeds instead of increasing in size, you'll need to use the vacuum to collect them. This fills up the gauge in the bottom right hand corner, and it appears that the seeds you collect aren't exclusive to that plant, so you can use them to plant other seeds if there's enough to fill the gauge, and the amount appears to be different for each. You also get a chainsaw to cut down areas if you need to make room, although that will take away from your completion gauge. Without spoiling too much, later on in the game you will also receive something that will aid the growth of plants. Overall, the aim is to encourage plant growth enough to fill your completion gauge for that level. As I mentioned, you only get a certain amount of items to encourage the plants to grow, so if you've not placed them in such a way to encourage growth enough to fill the completion gauge, you have to restart. And this did bug me after spending time carefully selecting areas to plant the seeds and then placing items, and before getting too carried away with placing items, choosing another seed to plant, but only after I had vacuumed enough seeds from the already existing plants. You can undo your last go, but you cannot pick up items after they have been placed beyond that last go, and this was frustrating. I understand that this is part of the challenge, but it felt unfair to have to start again. There was one level where I was on 99% and I'd run out of items, and taking the item back and placing it down again did nothing. Despite this, I did feel myself getting lost in this game, and before I knew it, a few hours had passed and I was absorbed into it. There was also levels later on where I thought this was super creative. The controls of Cloud Gardens are A to place items and seeds, Y is to select the seed, holding Y is to change the type of seed, and X is to select an item to place. The left stick is to move the cursor to select the area where you will place the seed/item, and the right stick is to move the diorama up, down, or around on its axis. The right and left triggers to zoom in and out, and the right and left shoulder buttons are to rotate an item. Left on the D-pad is to select your vacuum, and right is to select your chainsaw. With the controls, I did struggle with the movement of the diorama, and I found myself wanting to move the camera left or right rather than on its axis, but I did get used to it very quickly. The art style of this game is really nice also, to the point where I didn't realise I was looking at pixel art until I zoomed in and realised that everything is pixel art. And I was really impressed with the art for the vegetation, especially the monstera leaves. The backgrounds are also hazy, but have an ombre of colour, almost as if you were up in the clouds during dusk or dawn. The backgrounds, or rather lighting, can be changed when pressing up on the D-pad, which also allows you to enter photo mode, and there's more on that in a moment. The items in the game in which you place down are also quite fun. There's a little dinosaur at one point I thought was kind of cute, and I was taken aback when I placed down a gnome and it said "oh!" and it did make me chuckle. The music in this game is also very chilled and adds to the chill atmosphere of the experience. There is also a sandbox mode. I very much prefer this mode to the normal mode, as you are able to create dioramas of your own, but only with the items you unlock, and there looks like there's a huge catalogue of items ranging from small items such as the bottles, tyres, cones, etc. to the large partial structures. I made this and I had a lot of fun with it. You can also capture photos for it and have the camera in a way so that it shows you the plants growing or spin the world, or you can have both at the same time. There's also different backgrounds affecting the light and the colours, and I thought this was really added to the feel of the dystopian world. At the time of recording, the price was unavailable to us on the Xbox Game Store, so we weren't able to see how much the game cost on Xbox Series X/S, But Cloud Gardens is also available on Steam for £11.39, which seems about right for this kind of game. When we do find out, we'll put the Xbox price on the top pinned comment. Despite a few frustrations with normal mode, I still enjoyed the game, and I really love creative mode. Being able to create your own dioramas, plant whatever you want without any limitations, that was my favourite part. So if you like the look of this game, I highly recommend. Thank you very much for watching this review. Let us know down in the comments if you liked the look of this game and if you're thinking about getting this game. And make sure to like and subscribe for more from us in the future. Thank you very much for watching. See you in the next one.